right, the time is 6:03 and the January 18th, 2024 regular meeting of the Vernon Hills Park Board of Commissioners is called to order. Would those present please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Geraldo. Commissioner Jacobs.
Here.
Commissioner Robbins.
Here.
Vice President Senti.
Here.
President Dorhofer.
Items under the omnibus vote agenda are considered routine and non-controversial and will be approved by one motion. If a separate vote on any one item is desired, it will be pulled from the omnibus vote agenda and voted on separately. Omnibus vote agenda items are A, minutes of the special meeting December 14th, 2023, B, minutes of the regular meeting December 14th, 2023, and C, payables and payroll through January 18th, 2024 in the amount of $727,533.92. We have a motion to approve the omnibus vote agenda.
So moved.
Second? Or,
Second, but I have a,
sure. Any
Okay.
discussion? Yes.
are we gonna move that for
Next
proceed?
item.
Yep.
Oh,
Oh, you can second and you can take roll.
Right, okay. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Jacobs.
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins.
yes.
Vice President Senti.
Yes. A separate vote is required to approve the Prestige invoice for $2,920. That's all I need to say, right? May I have a motion to approve the Prestige invoice included in the payables through January 18th, 2024?
So moved.
Can I second it?
Yes, you
I
may.
have to second it.
There will not be a quorum on this because Commissioner Robbins has to abstain.
Right.
So that particular invoice is gonna have to be tabled until you have a quorum.
Okay.
Is not expected,
Yeah.
an absent commissioner.
So we probably want to call that vendor and just let them know of
Let
the
'em know.
technicality. I think
Right,
that
and
would
then
be
we'll
polite,
We'll reintroduce it at the February meeting,
right?
okay?
Okay. Superintendent Mitchell, are there any changes to the financial reports on file for the period ending December 31st, 2023?
No changes. Thank you.
Okay. At this time, the board will hear remarks from the public. Remarks are limited to 3 minutes, and no board response is given at the time. Are there any remarks to be heard? Please, welcome. Would you mind standing up to the podium and using? Yeah. And you could just state your name and where you live, and then what you'd like to share with us.
Sure. My name is Laura Sheehan. I live at 468 Chesterfield Lane. It's in Hawthorne Club, right by the Township Building. I'll try to keep this brief.
I'm sorry, excuse me, is the microphone on? I'm just having a,
It is on. Light. It is? Oh, now I see light.
just having a
me
hard
now?
time.
Yeah, is this good? No?
I don't know, I can hear you. Could we
Yeah.
give Laura a little assistance?
You know, when your ears get to be 75 years old, it's a,
Okay. Okay. My name is Laura Sheehan. I live in Hawthorne Club on Chesterfield Lane. We have a lot of children's and dogs in our neighborhood, and my husband and I have sent a couple emails over the last couple years. I sent one, he sent one later, asking about a dog park, and hear me out. I know Lake County has dog parks. However, I'm lucky enough to be here tonight because my kid's in a class. The Lake County dog parks are about 15 minutes away each, and they're huge. So the time, like the dog bolts and he runs off and you can't even see him anymore. It's very time consuming to go to those parks. Not to mention that some of them have lakes and he can get wet, and then there's mud in the car and we just can't deal with it. We have 2 small kids. It's a whole production. Every time we try to go to the Lake County parks, it's at least an hour production. We can't do it. We were really hoping, there's a park called JC Memorial Park in Deerfield. Before we had our second, my husband would take our dog there maybe once every other week. It's a short trip. It's just small enough. You just throw the ball around. You never lose the dog. There are always a ton of dogs there. It's just people going after work. It's like a pit stop for their dog. Just, throw the ball a few times, run them around. They meet a couple dogs. They go home. Like short, quick trips to the dog park. There is Lawson Park, which is just an open field right by the township building. If you guys just put a fence around it, we could just send the dog 10 minutes, run him. He can say hi to a couple dogs, get him home. That would be amazing. There are no dog parks like that. We have wonderful playgrounds and everything here. We have everything you can imagine. But unfortunately, the Lake County parks are just, they're a production. So we would love a dog park. A small, like J.C. Parks.
Laura, thanks for coming before us. We don't normally make comments to the visitors, but we take that into consideration. But I just feel like I'd be remiss if we didn't at least let you know a dog park is something that the Park District is investigating. We have looked at, and we have worked a little bit with the vendor just to see what might a size or location potentially be.
Okay.
We're in early stages. We don't have currently any finances that go with that, but we did hear, it was this summer that we did a community-wide survey. So maybe you didn't get that, but some of the response that we did get was that people, for 2 years in a row now, we hear from people that they have some interest in a dog park. So we're monitoring that, and it's very nice for you to come forward and let us know, and people will then see you on cable TV and hear that you want one too. So thank you for coming this evening.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Okay, let's see where we're at. So there is no unfinished business. The first item of new business is ordinance 0124, an ordinance abating the tax heretofore levied for the year 2023 to pay debt service on general obligation park bonds, alternate revenue source, series 2016A of the Vernon Hills Park District, Lake County, Illinois. May I have a motion to approve ordinance 0124?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Jacobs?
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins?
Yes.
Vice President Senti?
Yes. The next item of new business is ordinance 0224, an ordinance abating the tax heretofore levied for the year 2023 to pay debt service on general obligation park bonds, alternate revenue source, series 2023A of the Vernon Hills Park District, Lake County, Illinois. May I have a motion to approve ordinance 0224?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Robbins?
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs? Vice President Senti?
Yes. The next item of new business is the 2024 Lakes Management Bid Award. May I have a motion to award the 2024 Lake and Pond Management Contract to Tigris at an award cost of $25,360.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Just the same theme. Any discussion? I just appreciate that we got a significant savings this year. So that's very nice. Can I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Robbins?
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs?
Yes.
Vice President Senti?
Yes. The final item of new business is the request by the Village of Vernon Hills for use of Century Park for the 4th of July festivities and Vernon Hills Days, July 18th through July 21st, 2024. May I have a motion to approve the request by the Village of Vernon Hills?
So moved.
Second. We are delighted to have the Village of Vernon Hills always partner with us. They are great partners, and may I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Jacobs? Commissioner Robbins?
Yes.
Vice President Senti?
Wholehearted yes. At this time, the board will hear staff reports. We're going to start with Cheryl Buman, our Marketing and Communications Manager.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'll start with, an email had gone out as soon as we knew the snow was coming, so an email went out to our community letting them know where our sled hill is located. when it's open, our hotline, our cancellations and closures page, just trying to get everybody, informed of how we work here with our ice rink, in our sled hill and our pavilion. We do also, on our homepage, just for your information too, we have our cancellations and closures page. So we do have our ice rink listed, and we also have the sled hill. And we have another staff member who will update that if there's changes to what is currently listed. So right now, the sled hill, I believe, is open, and obviously ice rink is closed. We've also had some emails strictly go out for our December programs, our preschool open house, and also the Vernon Hill Soccer Club registration. One of the affiliates asked for an email to go out to a specified age group of children, which it did go out to. We have our Little Learners preschool open house coming up Tuesday. So this is one of our events. We did it last year where we used a vendor and we had a postcard mailing targeted to households that have children 4 and under that live within 5 miles of the Sultan Community Center. So that was roughly about 2,500 households that it was mailed to. We do have a message on there to bring it in for a free gift, so it would be easier for Julie to track how this postcard mailing is working. She also has people sign in she does ask them how they hear about it. We had emails also about the preschool open house as well as social media. So I know today she was taking quite a few calls from people who are getting the postcards and getting the emails, so hopefully there'll be a really good turnout. And I just put one of these in front of you. This is brand new as of a few days ago. We started doing this about a couple years ago, but this is the updated one for our upcoming school year of 2024-25. So you'd be interested in seeing that. Cassidy did that, and obviously we send it out to get printed. I will be bringing our agency showcase submissions to IPRA. We're submitting a Hello Week. We did a social media campaign, so we have a written up paragraph with some photos of what that looked like. There was a video that Cassie had done that showed people how to register online. So the judges have gotten the link to the video, and it's just a written up. And then Carol, we do have for our photograph the picture of how she used it, just taking a regular picture of our Lakeview Fitness members and then putting it on our brochure cover.
Nice.
So if you can, stop by the agency showcase, and everybody's will be there, and the winners will be announced at the January conference next week. Continually to send out our welcome postcards, so 52 postcards were sent to new residents in Vernon Hills, Lincolnshire, and Indian Creek who took ownership over the past month. Again, that postcard, we don't really know how many people are coming in from it, but when we do reprint them, we'll be putting up a free gift or something to bring in the postcard. None get returned, so I know they're going somewhere. We have a sled and skate webpage on the website, obviously, and it's updated with everything we're offering for 2024. We did have a couple changes, so there's a link present on our homepage underneath our slideshow where people could just click on it real quick instead of looking through the website to find there. Our scholarship giving tree has been taken down this week. We did receive around $400 in donations from 8 different families. It is a reduction, a 50% reduction from last year, so we will have to brainstorm for the upcoming 2024 year and see what changes we can make or some new type of creative incentive. We'll continue to do other measures seasonally about our scholarship program, though. Upcoming, we'll do something for camp. Just a little bit about the website. Over the past month, there was a decrease in usage in our website. It's normal over like end of December, January, but it did increase when I was doing my board report. I kind of went on the website and looked, and we already had a 23% increase. People are back on it, getting ready for the new season. The top pages visited were our homepage, league standings for the basketball, our Sullivan Community Center, and more basketball. So basketball was pretty popular. Lakeview Fitness saw an increase of 13% from last month across everything. Sessions, page views, new users, people. I know that we had a meeting just the other day, and there's a lot of tours going on over at Lakeview, so I think people are really being interested in that. We did have a Sully Snowman Challenge, social media, we did, when the snow came, we extended it, Cassidy extended it. We got so many cute pictures, so we did choose a raffle winner, and the most creative just this week, and those people will get a cute little gift. But that was a fun one, people really did get creative, and the snow really helped, people got out and did some fun things. Our most engaging post for our district was our Polar Express Storytime train photos, always a favorite. One family, they did a S'more-man family entry. It's a snowman, but they called him S'more-man, and it was really cute. So that was really popular. And also our upcoming Winterfest and Frosty K5 posts. A note about our Winterfest and Frosty K, they both were canceled, but they are rescheduled for February 3rd. So I will be having an additional email go out to our community, just letting people know of our alternate date for both of those events coming up in early February. And the top engaging post for Lakeview was the Tween Yoga, the December member appreciation, and the Frosty Parkade. And that's my report for the evening. Any questions?
Any questions for Cheryl? Thank you, it was a great update, appreciate it. And next we have our not so new anymore, Park Superintendent Mark Fleischman, but this is his first report, so
It is.
welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, no. Aubrey's gonna be watching you.
Good evening, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Just some general parks announcements. We've received a couple of comments lately, compliments I should say, on how well cared for our parks are and how well the maintenance staff maintains the parks and facilities. So I just wanted to thank everybody, but it's really a compliment to the staff, the rec department, everybody, the board, everything we are allowed to do stems from the top down. So we just want to thank everybody for that. We have a new superintendent of parks that started on January 2nd. A little bit about me, I worked for Vernon Hills Public Works for 12 years. In my time there, I was an event coordinator. I ran the sign shop for them, so budgeting. I worked in many different departments. I worked for streets and grounds, buildings, storm sewers. Prior to that, I worked as a seasonal at the Vernon Hills Park District. So,
You're back.
yes, so next update we have is the Turtle Creek Splash Pad. As of 1/3, the project has been approved by the SMC and the Village of Vernon Hills. We're still waiting on final word from Lake County Public Works as the water hookup, but we have we've gotten the approval to start preliminary work such as silt fencing, coir logs, just working on the erosion control. So hopefully once the weather turns, we can get moving on that. So this year we have renovations at Hartman Park and Hawthorne Melody. And we've gotten word from kids around the block, or around the world, sorry, that they will be removing and reusing the playground equipment around the world. So there's no set date on removal yet, but we have gotten word from them that will be received. Other things going on around here at the Sullivan Center is the Gym A Sullivan Center divider has been replaced. There's still a little bit of warranty work that needs to be done, but they're coming back out within the next week to take care of that. Divider in Gym B has had its annual maintenance completed, so we're by folding partition services. So the dividers in both gyms are set and fully functional. Basketball hoop maintenance and repairs will be completed within the next month at the Sullivan Center. There were 2 small little repairs that needed to be done, but everything's fully functional, everything's safe. We're in good shape. So next we have the wheelchair lift in the Walnut Room. So there's a minor issue with it. It's not functional at the moment. We have Otis, our contractor, looking into repairs for it. We are also in the works to find other solutions if it is unrepairable.
Okay.
Because we need to have a compliance. It's very important. Over the winter break, there was painting done at the Little Learners Child Care. The company did an excellent job, and everybody was able to come back, go over and help and reset the rooms after they were done and get everything back in order. The 11-month warranty walkthrough for the new construction at Lakeview Fitness is scheduled for April 11th at 10 a.m. We are currently working through some warranty issues regarding the roof, electrical, and doors. Lacey and I are working with Tyler from Camosi to get it taken care of. Finally, since the last board meeting, really all within the last week, we had 4 snow events. The parks and facilities crews are working together to ensure safe walking, driving conditions in our lots and for our facilities. These events don't affect just the exterior of the facilities, they also affect the interior, at least on people dragging in salt, snow. So with the work that everybody's doing, we're maintaining and keeping a clean and safe environment for our patrons and employees. Firethorn Pond, the Countryside Fire District is still doing their ice rescues training. So we are maintaining a boat launch for them as well, for a safe passage. That should end probably through early spring. So if you see them out there, they're just doing training. It's not generally anything to worry about. This year, the staff has been working on refurbishing several park signs. We do it every year, but we aim for 8 a year, and so if you happen to see a park sign missing, odds are we're just working on it. Last 2 things we have are the landscape maintenance bid. The contract will be open tomorrow, or the bid process will be open tomorrow, and it will go for 3 weeks. We're scheduling to have the bid opening on February 9th at 10 a.m. And the asphalt maintenance bid, we are scheduling to have open tomorrow and completed on February 9th at 11. And that's all I have. Are there any questions?
Any questions? Bruce?
Yes, sir.
Mark, I have a question. The Kids Around the World organization, do they have to provide us with any liability insurance?
Yes, they do.
Okay, before they take this
Yeah.
down?
Yeah, we treat them like any other contractor. They have to provide a COI and everything in case anything happens.
Thank you.
Albert, anything? For your inaugural, report, it's kind of have flashbacks back to Springfield, so we're not gonna let you off that easy. But no, seriously, I do have a couple of things that came up. When you mentioned the chairlift, I was just wondering, while that is not in operation, do we have someone who regularly uses it? And do we have an alternate plan if they wanna, be accommodated in some of our programs?
Yeah, I can take that. Okay. So our SRA has a program called Showstoppers, which is they do annual performances. Their program starts on February 7th. So currently, we don't have anything planned where actively participants need to use the stage or access the stage. So that's why we're trying to get this thing fixed prior to that. So we've been in communication with our SRA and their staff in case things aren't there yet. We have 2 individuals we know of that are in chairs that we would have to just have them practice on the lower level of the room, which I'm not a big fan of.
Yeah.
We want them to feel inclusive and equity, and so it's a priority. I can tell you that right now for Mark and Dave to, see what's going on and have Otis come out and try and get that fixed. And we're looking at Plan Bs if that's too costly to do, that we have an area behind the stage where we have a side entrance where we could put some kind of a mechanical lift, and Mark's shopped out, that particular product if we have to buy it and have it installed, so.
Well, it might be good to share with Otis what we're up against and if they can do anything to help. And possibly, I don't know if through, we want to reach out to those families and just let them know just in case, or wait till.
Yeah, so Otis is aware of the speed on this. One of the 2 members in the program, they could lift out of a chair and put him on the stage, but the second individual would be challenged to do that. The chair is extremely heavy, as is the individual. So that's the need, why we want to get this taken care of.
Hopefully everything goes well, right? What did I write here? Following up with Commissioner Robbins, I was just wondering, when we do have, was it World USA? When we recycle a park playground, is there criteria? Because we don't always do that. Is it a certain size, or
I believe from what
Condition of the equipment?
from what I understand is they actually come out and they would inspect the equipment and make sure it's up to their standards as well. So they don't just take anything, obviously.
Yeah.
I think they figured out what they need in certain areas of the world, and if this is a park that would fit that, then that's what they'll gladly take it.
Okay. It's always great to reuse and have someone else be using what we have. I know we all here on the board care a lot about that. And then the other thing I was thinking about just regarding Turtle Creek, because there were things outside of our control regarding the permitting, whether it's through the state or the various agencies, maybe we want to think about at some point doing some communication if it starts pushing way into the season and there's some thought that it's we might not be able to open it at all, or maybe just maybe giving, I think, the public a heads up when we finally are able to break ground and we have some.
Cheryl.
Yeah, right. It would.
Here.
You're going to handle that.
Yeah, we've actually had discussion about that.
Great.
And so, Jeff and a couple of staff, so we as soon as something looks like it's happening out there, because then people will be very curious, and then hopefully that would be soon, but then we're just going to be very transparent, and we're going to let them know why it's delayed. And, really even going back from, we had to move it. And so by moving it, it was new permitting and all that, everything that went with it. But we are going to keep them informed once there's something to say. And then just like what we did for Lakeview Fitness, I'll have a separate construction webpage for this playground so people can kind of see how it's evolving, and we can, maybe get to know a little bit more of a timeline.
I think that's wonderful, and I know we're all staff and board about being transparent with the public,
Yep.
so they know what happened, and we would have liked to have it open much earlier, and we still might have some good news, but just to help communicate with them every step of the way. So I'm really glad to hear that, and look at how great this leadership team is. They answered most of your questions, right? We all pulled together. Thank you, Mark. Next up
Mark,
is.
so you gotta know, so Vice President Sente, when she was a freshman legislator, that's a common theme when you get on the floor your first time. That
Brutal.
You get, some of your fellow colleagues that put you through a little bit, so this is
How
not a
bad your
common
bill
practice, so.
is, and
Take it
then
easy.
everyone votes no. I don't
Easy
even
on
think
you
they do
tonight.
that anymore.
Yeah.
Thank you. Jessica Mitchell, our Finance and HR Superintendent.
Hello.
Hey.
In December, the district received $34,623 of property tax revenue. The district has received 99.23% of the 2022 property tax, which equates to $6,010,822. As of December 31st, the district has $10,811,000 in cash and investments. But please keep in mind, $5 million is already allocated for upcoming projects that we have recently discussed. $8,565,000 is invested in 38 certificates of deposit and treasury bills with various maturing dates over the next 60 months, and $2,246,000 is available for cash flow purposes. All excess cash for December is invested in Fifth Third Bank Money Market Fund at 3.5%. As mentioned in the special board meeting, Fifth Third Bank Money Market Fund interest increased by 1% for the district in January. In December, capital expenditures were $189,000. Expenses included $175,000 for asphalt resurfacing at Century Park and Lakeview Fitness. Engineering services at Hartman Park were $12,000, and $1,300 was spent for cost of miscellaneous architect services. In December, the district also received a contingency refund of $7,998 from Camosi for Lakeview construction. The district's certificate of status of exempt property has been filed with the Chief County Assessment Office in Lake County. The certificate must be filed annually to exempt the district for the assessment of property taxes on land owned by the district. The district has the responsibility under the Illinois Government Ethics Act for each calendar year to certify economic interest files for Lake County. The act requires certified filers to disclose correct and complete statements of their respective economic interests for the preceding calendar year. I have reviewed and certified the filers that represent our district. Filers, which include all board members, can expect an email around March 1st providing unique login information to complete that filing online. W-2 forms have been printed and distributed to all staff this past week. Also right now, supervisors and managers are very busy working on their fiscal year 2024-25 budget and projections for our current fiscal year. As for human resources, the most recent full-time position that has become vacant and is posted on our website is the Park Maintenance 1 position. This role is responsible for general park maintenance, and we are still accepting applications for the full-time Recreation Supervisor 1 special events role. All details for these positions and other posted positions can be found on the district's website, and we ask any interested applicants to also apply via our website. The DEI Committee Chair, Shauna Hedke, is registered with Miami University of Ohio to complete the DEI certification program virtually. This will provide a DEI and leadership certificate for Shauna. Also, the DEI Committee will participate in a DEI team building event focused on Black History Month on February 7th. As you are aware, a health insurance memorandum was provided in your board packet with details comparing Vista National insurance coverage to Paderma. I reached out to two different brokers. One was Vista National. I was given their name by Arlington Heights Park District, who used to be with them, but has since left. The other was IPBC, which stands for Intergovernmental Personnel Benefit Cooperative. They are a pool provider just like Paderma, and some of their members included the McHenry County Conservation District, Lyle Park District, Glenview Park District, and North Brook Park District. The results from Vista National Health were summarized and provided in your board packet. Unfortunately, IPBC didn't get back to me until after the board packets were sent out, so that information was provided for you today, earlier. Based on these findings and the sound customer service provided by Paderma, it is recommended that the district remains with Paderma with our current health coverage, as we need to decide to review or renew with Paderma by February 2nd without facing any penalties. I will mention in 2024 we did increase employee contributions 2% across the board, and we can go into more detail. We talked about that at the budget workshop. I just want to remind you that the district has tried to balance the importance of managing the financial constraints that we face with this increase, all while also trying to have enticing benefits for our staff, as a retention and a recruitment tool. That concludes my report, unless there's any questions.
Thank you. Do we have any questions? No. Great report. Thank you very much. And next up, we have Lacey Marinenko, our facility manager. Good evening.
For Lakeview Fitness memberships, facility attendance for December 2023 was 8,250 visits, 1,087 of those being unique visits. Membership continues to grow. Our monthly and annual memberships currently total 1,372. Our winter break student promo wrapped up on December 31st with 109 passes sold. And the information that we received from our CRM for this month, for the month of December, web form leads were 41 and sales were 8 with a conversion rate of 19.5%. And then our tour leads that were from other sources than our website, we had 35 tours and 29 sales, so our conversion rate was 82%. This is really high, only because a lot of the tours that came in were more than one person was part of the tour. So we only count the one tour, but there was probably 2 people in the group of the tour. So we had sales that were a little bit inflated for that. For programming, as Cheryl mentioned, the Frosty 5K was rescheduled for February 3rd. It was scheduled for earlier, but with the nasty weather that we recently had, we decided to postpone for the 3rd. The next Flick and Float is scheduled for also February 3rd, and we are showing Pixar's Elemental. So it's $5 to come see a movie in the pool. Lakeview Fitness is also currently running a fundraiser for the Maui Strong Fund for the victims of the wildfires. We have raffle baskets that are currently at Lakeview, so anybody is welcome to come in and purchase those raffle tickets, and all of the funds will go towards the Maui Strong Fund. We'll also have a pop-up water aerobics class on the 23rd of this month, which is going to be another opportunity to donate to the cause. We have the Tween and Teen Empowerment Yoga coming up on the 27th, which is focused on celebrating the body that you're in for tweens and teens, and they will also do some vision boards. This is a free class. And then we have Vino and Vinyasa coming up on February 9th, so it's an evening of wine and yoga and also some chocolate. We have the wine coming from Feather Glass in Vernon Hills, and the chocolates are coming from Mom Pa's Candy in Long Grove. And then a new program that we are starting up is a 10-week training program. It's called Slay a 5K. So this is a 10-week program that is designed for people to run their first 5K. And the idea is to get people training to do our Leap the Lakes 5K. And that concludes my report, unless there's any questions.
Do you have any questions? No. Lots of fun stuff coming up. Thank you. Tom Ritter, our Recreation Superintendent. What do you have for us?
It's not my first meeting.
No, I know.
I just did some math, it's probably like 275.
Asking questions in
It's 275, but you know what? You still get a little nervous when you come up to the podium.
That was a good math there.
Anyways, good evening. So a quick, I don't usually focus on the past too much, but a quick thank you for everybody who came out to our family New Year's Eve party. We did sell out at the last minute with 250, and it was a great night, so I hope everybody had a good time. It's kind of a theme here about rescheduling. They did talk about Winterfest. It too is being rescheduled for February 3rd, so it's going to be a really busy day here at the Park District. Nothing's changing though. Fortunately, the two vendors that I would have needed to agree with on a date, both were able to do February 3rd. So Winterfest will still be from 11 to 2. We'll still have campfire and carriage rides, sled dogs, a craft. It'll be fun. Hopefully we'll still have some snow and maybe the ice rinks, who knows, but we're looking forward to it. For those that are wondering, why did we have snow and cancel a winter event? It was the wind chill factor. It was getting close to 0 and just didn't seem appropriate for contractors and for small children, which is our main market for this event. So we did that day though, last Saturday, we did have our first old school game night. One of our full-time staff, Anna Swain, her husband's an avid collector of old board games and just other collectible games. And he probably brought out about 25 old games, which is a lot, covering about 12 tables, half the gym. And we didn't know what the turnout would be. We had 8 people registered. He said, let's just do it. It's the first time. And by the end of the night, there were 17 people. So we had 17 people playing a bunch of games. They had a good time. We had some snacks and some music. And we have another one scheduled in March. So hopefully we can build off this one and promote it and get an even better turnout. So some of the stuff is very nostalgic that he brings out, things you remember from your childhood. And it's amazing he still has them in such good quality. They're hard to find games. February 9th coming up will be our annual Just the Two of Us father-daughter dance at Sullivan Center. That too sells out, so I encourage people not to wait much longer. This entails dancing, a photo opportunity, ice cream bar, and the girls get to bring a keepsake home for the evening as well. Programming, our men's basketball leagues have begun the week of January 9th. We have 17 teams playing in 3 different leagues twice a week at the Hawthorne schools. And this is one less team than last year. We always seem to hover in the teens. I think we had 18 last year, we have 17 this year. And then our youth basketball leagues continue to do great. We just started this past Saturday. We have 336 kids playing on 36 teams. And I might have mentioned it last month though, we love this partnership we started with Mundelein Park District. So I think they do some of their own leagues at their community, but certain age groups they just don't have enough. So they're incorporated into our league. Last year was the first time we did it with 4 teams, and now we have 8 teams. So our 336 plus their 8 teams, obviously they're doing really well. And it's nice to be able to play against kids from other communities as well without having to even leave, since they're all played here. Within those numbers, 104 of the kids are in our 1st and 2nd grade instructional program. So overall we have 8 more kids from our program plus the 4 teams from Mundelein. And Jay was, as I always say, he's Mr. Girls Sports Equal Rights. He fights to try and get the girls into our programs because girls sports sometimes struggle, and He was very happy that for this first and second grade program, he was able to give the girls their own league. So there's 4 teams of just girls, not mixed with the boys. So that's great. And then finally, just a best of luck to Jack. I mean, Jack was our events guy, our sponsor guy, our Sully. So he's moved on, and as Cheryl mentioned, we do have an opening for a special events supervisor, and hopefully we'll have someone hired probably by early February if it goes well, and we'll look forward to getting them out, meeting all of our residents. So that's my report, unless there's any questions.
Will you be Sully in the meantime?
We'll discuss that. Somebody will, right? Somebody will.
Yeah, we wish Jack all the best. He's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you. And now we have our executive director, Jeff Boucher.
Okay, let me, I want to start with just the recent storm we had this past week, and our park staff worked around the clock for several days just to make sure everything was cleared, and I think, you know, you can look at our parks and see our paths that are walkable for people, and, you know, I know it's a little chilly to walk out, but, you know, some people like to walk their dogs too, and so that's just a hats off to all of our parks team and our facility team that, you know, keeping both Lakeview and this facility clear for all of our customers. Just an update on we call it the Donnelly Park, not even the park, Donnelly parcel of property that we have agreed to sell a portion of to that family. So Andrew is cleaning up that document to submit to the county. It goes to the clerk's office, and then you have to just have a judge give us a date when that hearing would be held. And we have to do another publication to put out to the community in case any individuals are opposed to the sale. So long and short, that agreement, I suspect, would be probably, assuming the courts get it on their agenda, probably the next 30 days, we should see that, you know, be in a position to close. And for the benefit of the board, and just remembering, we agreed that was a $25,000 sale on that parcel. The last piece we've got to do is just get a surveyor out there, and we'll pass that on to the buyers to make sure that the property that we want to allocate for sale is actually depicted on the sale. It's a really kind of funky triangle, and so it's not, you know, a flat out 25 feet by 100 feet. There's actually different angles where within the content of the parcel that have to be identified for future use when we take that off, as Jessica talked about, that we do every year with sales of our properties. A reminder, next Tuesday evening we have a special meeting at 7:15. So at your dais, you'll have some paperwork on that proposal from that PR firm. Please review that. And if you have questions in advance for me, feel free before next Tuesday, or come prepared. This is, you're not going to have a presentation from PCI. It's really an opportunity for the board. And all of our leadership team will be there as well for us to ask questions of them. It is it's an opportunity too that we're not necessarily looking at in the proposal that you have before you, that we're looking for action on in that total amount that they put. So Cheryl and Cassidy and I have gone through a lot of the proposal of things that we feel that we can do in-house, and so those are conversations I've had with the consultant, just so they're not coming in this meeting think it's just going to be the board's going to adopt this and this is what we're going to provide for you from a monetary standpoint. So that number is flexible with them. They understand that, and so it's kind of more of whatever we feel that we may be a little light on in terms of professional advancement of messaging, et cetera, public relations, that we work with them on assisting us with that type of thing. And we've talked about some update, some surveying we may do, and we may get some help with them on that, okay? And then we'll also talk a little bit more about community engagement at that meeting. I don't know how long it's gonna last. Some people have asked me that. And it could be 45 minutes, it could be an hour, it could be a little longer. I've also invited Andrew Payne, our attorney, because I think there may be some, if there's any kind of legal questions that the board may have, or even our consultants may have on us. I just want to make sure that his availability is present. You got on here, we talked a little bit about some special events that we referred to with the Frosty 5K that our Lakeview team is doing, and the Winterfest, and that's 2 weeks from this Saturday. So we're looking for volunteers still. Both, I know Tom's gonna be heading up Winterfest and Heather's gonna be heading up the Frosty 5K. If anybody's available and wants to give their time, it is outdoors, just know that. The Frosty 5K starts at 9 a.m. And so that goes till 10:30, and that almost bleeds into Winterfest is 11 to 2, as you heard Tom talk about. So if you have, a couple hours, even an hour available, just let me know, and I'll make sure I pass that on. And then that evening, Lacey will be facilitating a movie in the pool, a flick and float that night. So we've got a full day of activity. And that's pretty much it. I think there's a packet there for you for the conference. Amy put together a whole itinerary for you. There's your per diems there. Again, if you have questions on anything prior to that, Amy, I'm sure it would be able to answer most of your questions, or myself. Okay. Thanks, that's all I got.
Thanks, Jeff. I did want to underscore, because President Dorhofer is out of town and coming in that day for Tuesday. So if you have any questions, after you read this, be sure and call Jeff. But if you also want to talk about anything as a board, since Dave's usually our clearinghouse, I'll check with him. If he's not able to take those calls, then you can call me and we can, make sure we're all prepared for that evening. So thanks. Moving along, there are no commissioner committee reports or communications to be heard tonight, and there is no correspondence to be heard. So commissioner comments. Commissioner Jacobs, do you have anything you wanted to? No? Commissioner Robbins?
At this evening.
I guess since it's formally our first board meeting of the year, just to say Happy New Year to the community. And having addressed all the items on the agenda, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second. Roll call.
Commissioner Jacobs?
Yes.
Commissioner Robbins?
Yes.
Vice President Senti?
Yes, the time is 6:51 and the regular meeting is now adjourned.
Good job.